Why your mindset matters more than your paycheck. The psychology of wealth. Have you ever noticed how some people making $40,000 a year seem genuinely happier and more financially secure than others pulling in six figures? Maybe you know someone who drives a beat-up Honda Civic but somehow always has money for the things that matter, while your neighbor with the brand new BMW is constantly stressed about bills. What if I told you that the difference between these two people isn't their bank account balance, their credit score, or even their investment portfolio? The difference is something far more powerful and completely within your control. Here's something that might shock you. The biggest predictor of long-term financial success isn't your salary, your education level, or the family you were born into. It's your mindset about money itself. And I'm not talking about fluffy self-help nonsense here. I'm talking about documented psychological patterns that either create wealth or destroy it, regardless of how much money flows through your hands. Research shows they can look at your beliefs about money at age 25 and predict with remarkable accuracy what your net worth will be at age 55. Your current thoughts are literally programming your financial future right now. Drop a comment, mindset shift, if you're ready to understand why your financial situation doesn't match your income level. Let's dive in. Number 1, the reverse equation. Let me show you exactly how the software running between your ears determines everything about your financial future and why most people get this completely backwards. Here's what most people believe. If I just make more money, I'll have more financial security, which means less stress, which leads to happiness. More money equals a better life. Simple, right? Wrong. And this misunderstanding is why so many high earners are still living paycheck to paycheck, while people making half as much are building real wealth. Here's the brutal truth that most financial advisors won't tell you because it doesn't sell expensive products. The equation actually works in reverse. Your mindset about money determines your financial behaviors, which determine your financial outcomes, which then reinforce your original mindset. It's a self-fulfilling cycle that either builds wealth or keeps you broke, and most people are completely unaware they're even trapped in it. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like in real life, with two people who started in the exact same place. Person A makes $70,000 a year and believes that money is scarce, that rich people are greedy, and that no matter what they do, they'll never have enough. This person hoards cash in low-yield savings accounts because investing feels too risky. They buy cheap products that break quickly because spending more upfront feels wasteful. They avoid opportunities that could increase their income because deep down, they don't believe they deserve success. Fast forward 10 years. Person A is still making roughly the same amount with virtually no assets to show for it. They're stuck. Person B makes the exact same $70,000, but believes that money is a tool for creating opportunities. They see wealthy people as examples of what's possible, rather than enemies to resent. They understand that some level of risk is necessary for growth. This person invests consistently, buys quality items that last longer, and actively seeks ways to increase their value in the marketplace. 10 years later, person B has doubled their income and built substantial wealth through compound growth. Same starting salary, completely different outcomes. The only difference was the software running between their ears. But that's just the obvious part. What I'm about to say is what makes the difference between people who stay stuck and people who break free. There's ancient wisdom that recognized this truth thousands of years ago. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Your thoughts literally program your reality. Buddhist teachings say, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Even Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And modern research backs this up with hard data. Studies have followed thousands of people over several decades, tracking both their financial outcomes and their beliefs about money. What they discovered was mind-blowing. People with what researchers called an abundance mindset consistently outperformed those with a scarcity mindset, even when controlling for factors like education, starting income, and family background. But here's where it gets really shocking. The researchers found that mindset wasn't just correlated with financial success, it was actually predictive. They could look at someone's beliefs about money at age 25 and predict with remarkable accuracy what their net worth would be at age 55. Think about that for a moment. Your current thoughts about money are literally programming your financial future right now, whether you realize it or not. Here's your actionable step. Start becoming aware of your current programming. For the next 7 days, pay attention to the automatic thoughts that pop into your head when you see someone driving an expensive car or living in a nice house. Do you immediately assume they must be in debt or that they got their money through shady means? Do you feel resentment or admiration? Write these thoughts down. These knee-jerk reactions reveal your true beliefs about wealth and successful people, and those beliefs are either building your fortune or destroying it. Here's a story that brings this home. I know a woman who was making $50,000 a year and believed that rich people just get lucky. She stayed broke for years, watching opportunities pass by because she was waiting for her lucky break. Then she shifted her mindset to rich people make strategic choices I can learn from. Within 3 years, her income had doubled. She told me, I finally realized my thoughts were chains I didn't even know I was wearing. The moment I changed what I believed, everything else started changing too. The principle is powerful but uncomfortable. Your current thoughts about money are programming your financial future right now, whether you realize it or not. Change the program, change the outcome. Wait, there's something you need to pay attention to if you don't want your own beliefs to keep you broke forever. Number 2, how you view money itself. So what exactly separates the wealthy mindset from the broke mindset? Let's start with something fundamental, how you view money itself. And I'm warning you, this one's going to make you uncomfortable because it might reveal beliefs you didn't even know you had. People with a broke mindset see money as inherently evil or corrupting. They believe that wanting money makes you greedy or shallow. They think wealth is a zero-sum game where someone else has to lose for them to win. And here's the devastating part. This creates massive psychological resistance to actually building wealth because deep down, they don't want to become the type of person they've been taught to despise. Think about that. If you believe rich people are greedy, selfish, or morally corrupt, how motivated are you going to be to become one? Your subconscious mind will sabotage every opportunity because it's trying to protect you from becoming someone you hate. People with a wealthy mindset see money completely differently. They understand that money is morally neutral. It's just a tool that amplifies whatever values you already have. Money gives you more options to help others, support causes you care about, and create a positive impact in the world. They see wealth creation as a positive-sum game where everyone can benefit from innovation and value creation. And what I'm about to say is what makes the difference between people who break through financial barriers and people who build their own cages. I know someone who consistently turned down promotions at work because they didn't want their coworkers to think they were getting too big for their britches. Read that again. They literally programmed themselves to stay poor because they were more afraid of social judgment than they were motivated by financial improvement. Meanwhile, their colleague who started at the same company on the same day has been promoted 3 times and now makes twice as much, simply because they believed they deserved success and weren't afraid to pursue it. There's a biblical verse that gets misquoted all the time, and this misunderstanding keeps millions of people broke. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." Not money itself, the love of it, the obsession with it. Money is neutral. It's what you do with it and how you relate to it that matters. The Jewish Talmud asks, "Who is rich?" and answers, "One who is satisfied with their portion." Wealth is an internal state, not just an external number. Benjamin Franklin understood this perfectly. He said, "Money has never made man happy, nor will it." But he also said, "A penny saved is a penny earned." He saw money as a tool, neither good nor evil, just useful or wasted depending on how you use it. Here's the truth most people never grasp. Money is an amplifier of who you already are. A good person with money does more good in the world. A selfish person with money becomes more selfish. The money doesn't change you, it reveals you. Here's your actionable step. For the next week, listen carefully to the language you use when talking about money. Do you say things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "The rich get richer while the poor get poorer," or "I can't afford that"? These phrases might seem harmless, but they're actually programming your subconscious mind to see money as scarce and wealth as unattainable. Here's the reframe that changed everything for me. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," say, "That's not a priority for me right now based on my goals." The first statement programs helplessness. The second programs choice and control. Same situation, completely different psychological impact. Let me share a story that illustrates just how powerful these beliefs are. I know a man who grew up hearing, "Money is the root of all evil" from his religious parents. For years, he unconsciously sabotaged every raise he got, spending windfalls immediately, avoiding promotions, even turning down bonuses. He couldn't figure out why he stayed broke despite working hard. Finally, in therapy, he realized, deep down, he believed that having money would make him a bad person. His subconscious was protecting him from becoming what he feared. Once he reframed money as a tool that lets me support causes I care about, help my family, and create positive impact, everything changed. Within a year, he'd saved $15,000 for the first time in his life because he'd removed the psychological resistance. The principle is this: you cannot build what you secretly believe is evil. Your subconscious will sabotage every attempt. Reframe money as a neutral tool and watch the resistance dissolve. But that's just the surface. What's behind it is what will startle people about how your response to problems determines everything. Number 3. How you view problems. Another massive mindset difference that separates the wealthy from the broke is how people think about problems and obstacles. And this one might be the most important because life will throw problems at you no matter what. The question is, what do you do with them? Those with a broke mindset see problems as evidence that they're not cut out for success. Every setback confirms their belief that wealth building is too hard or not meant for people like them. They give up at the first sign of difficulty and then use that failure as proof that they were right all along. "See? I told you it wouldn't work." But those with a wealthy mindset see problems completely differently. They see them as puzzles to solve. They understand that obstacles are not roadblocks, they're the price of admission to the next level. When they encounter difficulties, they ask better questions. How can I solve this? Or what can I learn from this situation? Instead of, why does this always happen to me? Wait, there's something you need to pay attention to if you don't want to quit right before your breakthrough. This difference in problem-solving approach creates dramatically different outcomes over time. The person who quits at the first obstacle never develops the skills needed to build wealth. But the person who persists through challenges, they become stronger, smarter, and more capable with each problem they solve. There's wisdom about this that goes back thousands of years. The book of James says, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so you may be mature and complete." The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." There's a Japanese proverb that says, "Fall 7 times, stand up 8. And the Chinese have this amazing story about bamboo. It grows underground for 5 years, showing absolutely nothing above the surface, then suddenly shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. The lesson? Sometimes what looks like failure is just invisible growth preparing for a breakthrough. Even Nietzsche recognized this truth when he wrote, That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Let me give you a real example that perfectly illustrates this principle. I know someone who bought their first rental property and lost money on it for 2 years straight. The tenant destroyed the place, repairs cost way more than expected, and the whole experience was stressful and expensive. Now, someone with a broke mindset would have concluded, real estate investing doesn't work. I'm never doing this again. And they'd spend the next decade using that one failure as an excuse for why they can't build wealth. But this person had developed a wealthy mindset. Instead of giving up, they analyzed what went wrong, learned from their mistakes, and bought a second property, this time with better tenant screening procedures and more realistic repair budgets. That second property cash flowed from day one. Today, they own 7 rental properties and generate more passive income than most people earn at their jobs. The difference wasn't intelligence or luck. It was a mindset. They viewed that initial failure as education, rather than evidence that they weren't cut out for real estate investing. Here's your actionable step. The next time you face a financial setback, pause before reacting emotionally. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Write down 3 specific lessons from your last financial mistake. Actually, write them down. This simple act reframes failure from something that happened to you into something that happened for you. A tuition payment for your financial education. Each mistake teaches you something valuable that makes you smarter for the next opportunity. This removes the emotional sting from setbacks and allows you to learn from them instead of being paralyzed by them. Here's a story that drives this home. I know an entrepreneur who started 3 businesses that failed before he turned 30. His friends and family told him to quit, that he wasn't meant for business. But he said, I'm not failing. I'm learning what doesn't work. His 4th business succeeded, and he sold it for $8 million at age 35. He told a reporter, those 3 failures were my MBA. They cost me money, but they taught me everything I needed to succeed. The only difference between me and people who stay broke is that I didn't quit when things got hard. The principle is powerful. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a necessary component of success. Every master was once a disaster. The only real failure is quitting before you learn the lesson. It sounds simple, but the hardest part is what's about to be told next. Number 4, delayed gratification and time perspective. But perhaps the most important mindset difference, and this is where the psychology of wealth gets really fascinating, is how people think about time and delayed gratification. This single trait might be the biggest predictor of who builds wealth and who stays broke their entire life. People with a broke mindset are trapped in what psychologists call present bias. They consistently overvalue immediate rewards and undervalue future benefits. They'll spend money they don't have on things they don't need to impress people they don't like. All because the immediate gratification feels more real than the long-term consequences. They can't see or feel their future self, so they sacrifice it for present pleasure without even realizing what they're giving up. People with a wealthy mindset have developed the ability to delay gratification in the service of larger future rewards. They understand that every financial decision is really a choice between their current self and their future self, and they consistently choose to benefit their future self, even when it requires sacrifice today. But that's just the surface. What's behind it is what will startle people about how every dollar spent today is a tree not planted for tomorrow. Now, this isn't about being cheap or depriving yourself of everything enjoyable. It's about being intentional with your choices and understanding that true wealth is built through thousands of small decisions over time, not through one big lucky break. There's a famous fable by Aesop that perfectly illustrates this. The ant worked all summer storing food for winter, while the grasshopper played and enjoyed the present moment. When winter came, the ant survived on his stored provisions while the grasshopper starved. The moral? Prepare today for tomorrow's needs. Proverbs puts it this way: The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. The biblical story of Joseph in Egypt shows this principle at work. He stored grain during 7 years of abundance to save Egypt during 7 years of famine. He didn't hoard randomly. He had a strategy for the future. Warren Buffett said it perfectly. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Every dollar you spend today is a tree you're not planting for future shade. Every dollar you invest today is a tree that grows and provides shade for decades. Here's your actionable step, and I want you to actually do this. Before any purchase over $100, implement a 48-hour rule. Write down this question: am I choosing my current self or my future self with this purchase? Then calculate the real opportunity cost. If you spend $500 today, that's not just $500 gone. At an 8% annual return over 30 years, that $500 would have grown to $5,031. You're not just spending $500, you're spending over $5,000 of future wealth. This isn't to make you feel guilty about every purchase. It's to make your decisions conscious instead of automatic. Sometimes your current self wins, and that's okay, but make it a choice, not autopilot. Here's a story that brings this to life. I know a young couple earning $80,000 combined who decided to live on $50,000 and invest $30,000 every year. Their friends mocked them for not enjoying life while they're young, calling them cheap and boring. 15 years later, that couple had $750,000 invested. They quit their jobs at 40 to travel the world while their friends, the ones who lived it up, were still working, stressed about money, trapped in jobs they hated. The couple told me, "We didn't delay life. We accelerated freedom. Our friends delayed freedom to have temporary pleasures. We delayed some pleasures to have permanent freedom." Turns out, delayed gratification isn't about never enjoying anything. It's about enjoying the right things at the right time. The principle is powerful. Delayed gratification isn't deprivation, it's trading temporary pleasures for permanent freedom. Every wealthy person understands this instinctively. Every broke person thinks it's about living in the moment. And what I'm about to say next is going to challenge everything you think you know about what it really means to be wealthy. Number 5, owner versus consumer mentality plus purpose. Here's another mindset shift that can completely transform your financial future, and this one separates people who build real wealth from people who just spend their entire lives consuming. Start thinking like an owner instead of a consumer. Most people approach every financial decision by asking, how much does this cost? Wealthy people ask a completely different question. What's the return on this investment? Now, this doesn't mean you should try to make money off everything you buy. Sometimes the return is purely personal satisfaction or convenience, and that's perfectly fine. But training yourself to think in terms of value and return rather than just cost completely changes how you make decisions. For example, someone with a consumer mindset sees a $1,000 course on digital marketing and focuses entirely on how expensive it is. Someone with an owner mentality asks whether the knowledge from that course could help them increase their income by more than $1,000. If the answer is yes, the course isn't an expense, it's an investment. Do you see anything unusual? The answer is right here. The psychology of wealth isn't just about making more money. It's about developing a healthier, more sustainable relationship with money that actually serves your values and goals, instead of sabotaging them. And here's where most people completely miss the point. Without a clear purpose behind your wealth building, the whole thing feels empty and meaningless. You might accumulate money, but you won't feel fulfilled or satisfied. Worse, you might unconsciously sabotage your own efforts because deep down, you don't have a compelling reason to succeed. Think about it this way. If someone offered you $1 million right now, but told you that you could never spend a single penny of it, never give any of it away, and never use it to improve your life in any meaningful way, would you still want it? Of course not. The money itself is worthless. What we actually want is what money can do for us. This is why some people who achieve financial success still feel empty and unfulfilled. They focused so intensely on accumulating wealth that they never figured out what they actually wanted from life. They won the game but forgot why they were playing in the first place. The ancient book of Ecclesiastes says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income." Buddha taught that health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth. The philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Viktor Frankl, who survived the concentration camps, discovered that those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. Apply that to money. Those who have a why to build wealth can bear any sacrifice required. Here's something nobody talks about. Your money mindset doesn't just affect your bank account, it affects every area of your life. It reflects your deeper beliefs about scarcity, abundance, self-worth, and what you deserve. People who struggle with money often struggle with boundaries in relationships. They have trouble saying no to requests that don't serve them. They undercharge for their services. They accept less than their worth because they don't believe they deserve better. They give too much to others while neglecting their own needs. These aren't separate issues, they're all symptoms of the same underlying problem, a scarcity mindset that says there's not enough to go around, so you better grab what you can and be grateful for whatever scraps you get. When you develop a wealthy mindset, you start operating from abundance instead of scarcity. You understand that there's enough success, love, opportunity, and yes, money for everyone. And this doesn't make you selfish or greedy, it actually makes you more generous because you're giving from a place of abundance, not fear or depletion. Here's your actionable step. Define your specific why for building wealth. Write it down. When I'm financially free, I will. Be specific. Help your parents retire, start a nonprofit, travel with your family, work on your passion project. This clarity makes every daily sacrifice meaningful. You're not just saving money, you're building freedom to do something that matters to you. Here's a story that illustrates this perfectly. I know an executive who climbed the corporate ladder for 20 years, made $500,000 a year, and accumulated $3 million, but he still felt empty and unfulfilled. He finally realized he'd focused so hard on accumulating wealth that he never figured out what he wanted from life. He quit and took a $200,000 a year job at a nonprofit aligned with his values. He told me, "I make less money now, but I have more wealth." Because wealth isn't what you have in the bank, it's the alignment between your money and your meaning. The principle is this: your relationship with money is inseparable from your relationship with yourself. If you don't believe you're worthy of financial success, you'll unconsciously sabotage every opportunity. Build wealth with purpose, or you'll build money without fulfillment. All of the above will be meaningless if you miss the last detail. So there you have it. The psychology of wealth boils down to 5 critical mindset shifts. Understanding that your thoughts create your behaviors, which create your outcomes. Reframing money as a neutral tool instead of something evil. Seeing problems as puzzles to solve rather than evidence you're not cut out for success. Developing the ability to delay gratification for future rewards. And thinking like an owner with clear purpose instead of just consuming mindlessly. Look, I know this feels overwhelming. You might be thinking, I've had these beliefs my whole life. How can I change them? Here's the truth. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to start questioning one belief at a time. Comment mindset shift right now if this has changed how you think about wealth. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the most valuable gift is showing someone their cage is unlocked. Every wealthy person started exactly where you are, wondering if they had what it takes. The difference? They decided their thoughts about money were worth examining. Your paycheck might determine your current lifestyle, but your mindset determines your financial future. The choice and the power is completely yours.